In Chapter 1, there's a lot of graphs that you can see, but you don't need to memorize all of them, but it's nice to remember what benefits your variables. So, to describe your graph, first of all, you would describe your highest point and the lowest point. So in this bar graph, as you can see, the highest point will be 40% and the lowest would be 25%. If it was an example of finding people's preference, you would say that this yellow bar would be the most preferred and the blue one would be the least. When you want to explain the majority, you want to explain what's the 50%. So in this bar graph, you would say that the 40% and the 35% would be the majority, since if you add them up, it will be 50%. You will go from the highest then to the second highest to add 50%. And the marginal distribution is just adding all the numbers up in your variables. For quantitative data and examining distribution, you want to remember SCSO, which is shape, center, spread, outlier. Your mean would be your numbers all added up, and the median would be your midpoint, which would be your highest. As you can see, this would be your median in your graph. And the mode is what appears most frequently. So if you have variables like 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 5, your mode would be definitely 4. And if the graph is right skewed, it means that your median is smaller than your mean. If it's left skewed, the median would be bigger than the mean. So it's kind of hard to visualize it, so you just need to draw a graph. If it's right skewed, which means the right part is smaller, your median would be here, which is your highest point, and your mean would be in the middle. That applies to the left skewed as well. So your range is just your max minus minimum. I'm sure everyone remembers all these stuff. Just remember to memorize it. For your standard deviation, if your standard deviation is small, it means that it's close to the mean, which means your graph would kind of look like this. Oh, that's ugly. And if your standard deviation is bigger, it means that it's spread it out. So, example, if it's roughly symmetric, you would see that it would look symmetric. If there's no outliers or it looks like it's slightly skewed, you would say it's slightly skewed. And if there's an outlier, and if your mean is far away from Q1 and Q3, and there's an outlier, it's strongly skewed. And that's all you need to know in Chapter 1.